Hello friends, so welcome back to another session getting started. So in the previous video we have discussed that how to download NASA OpenVSP. Now here I will show you how you can use and how you can start to use the software. So first let me tell you what are the different modules or the tools that you have. Now first, this is a working bench, so you have the file. Now in this file option, if you are going to start a new sketch, you can click new. If you have saved some file, you can just open and take from the location. And after you made any kind of sketch, you can use a save as, and so on. Edit. Now if any parameter you want to edit, you can copy paste. That kind of options are quite also possible. Here is also have an option. You can also use undo, Control Z. Okay. Here we have like windows. Now here what is meant by window, you can based on the design you want to see or capture it. This is what you are seeing is a one window. If you want 4 window with a different axis, that is marked over here. 2 different horizontal views. If you want to change the background image, suppose you want to take some particular image, okay, and for an example you want to design some particular something like this, okay. Now you can take, and after that you can input the your components and you can fix or scale them accordingly. And if you want some other images like clouds or some other pictures, so you can already save that file in JPG file and you can import it and you can make the you can modify the background, or if not you can just keep it as it is. So there we have views. Now if you are making any sketch over here, just add this fuselage, right? So you can give the different views using this kind of shortcut keys. F5 means top view. Now you see I will press F6, it will come as a front view. You can use this fit on screen, or based on the design you are scaling them, you can use this parameter as per your requirement. Now there are certain parameters comes modeling, geometry, or what kind of measuring you want to use, some measuring units or not, like you can use the ruler and scale, right? Then analysis, some of the analysis also you can perform, that weighted ratios, CG calculation, some CFD meshing, FE analysis, some stability, wave track and parasite track. So certain amount of analysis that you can perform. Now let's come here in the geometry. Now first, to know what is there in the geometry, now first I will make a window 1. Now here you see in this geometry we have some sets of components that are there, okay. So suppose you are going to make some aircraft with the conventional design. Let's make an passenger based. So here you see the option passenger based fuselage, we have a transport fuselage. So you can use this option. See, observe this carefully, right? Now here you can use a shortcut key to identify to front view F6 and see the side view F7. If you want to fit on screen, press F alone, right? Now if you can use your mouse and you can change the direction as you want. Now this is a top view. If you press F5, control panel we have. Now when you click onto this fuselage, you will get one parameter something like this, okay. Now using this panel, you can rename it fuselage, okay. Let's name the fuselage. Now if you want to change the color, here you can choose the color as you want. There is some default materials are also available, you can choose any one of them. I will come to this later on. Now material density. Now if you are well aware with that, what kind of material that you're using, whether you're using composites or aluminium, whatever, if you are well aware, you can give the value what kind of material. And here you remember that the units which you are using, it's all our relative unit. In the next tab, see X form. Now what is the purpose of this X loc, Y loc and Z loc? It defines the what is the X location, Y and Z. Follow this axis which is given over here, X, Y and Z. As you shift, it will only determine which location you want to shift your. Now here you cannot find any negotiable changes. Now once I shift into an isometric view, you can observe the difference. Let's come back to the side view once again. Okay, now the previous tab got lost. So how I can get back the previous tab? Only by clicking onto that component which you want to retrieve back. See, whatever I have said before, I got it. Now you can again reset them to 0. You want it start from the origin. So this is all about how you want to change the location. Next we have X root, Y root, Z root. This is nothing but the rotation. So how you want to rotate the surface? Now let me show you. If I X part, if I change as 90, okay, now have the view, it is as become upside down, right? Now let's me reset back to 0 and show you Y become 90, right? So if any component you want to make some rotate that particular component, some basic component, so you can make use of that rotation. Now next you see very significant one is a symmetry. Now symmetry, what we have is which kind of symmetry you want. It's an XY plane, XZ or YZ. Now if you see, if I keep on XZ plane and I shift the location of my fuselage, I can see a twin fuselage configuration. So if you need something like that, twin fuselage configuration or maybe of twin rudder, so you can make use of this symmetry, and based on the location where you want the symmetry. Now let's assume I am using a single fuselage, so I will turn it off and I will set back to 0 again. As simple as that. Now there are certain axial moments. Now let me show you what will happen if I do this and change the number, or like this. See? So if you are planning to make some kind of design, some kind of components, so that is also possible. Okay, now I will show you how you can implement this while making the engine design also. I'll be showing you how you can make use of this, and if you don't want, just click onto none and set it back. Okay, now scale factor, you can let it be like 1, at what scale factor you want it. So no, let's not make any changes in the scale factor. What is a rotational? Now as of now, these things will be required during when we will go for the analysis part. So that time it will be important what is translate and rotate and all those things. So X form I have said. Now let's go to the sub. Now what is the purpose of the sub? Let me show you here. This is a fuselage structure, and now to make it more clarity, I will use this geometry browser and I will make this fuselage as shade, so it is looking like complete. Now if I want to add some component over to my fuselage, let me take some rectangular and add. Now if you want to show some cargo, or if you want to show some windows or something like that, so all those things where you want to locate the center locations or the bottom part, okay, where you want to highlight some significant parts, what should be the length, width, okay, whether you want for the entire width of entire sections, and what should be the angle, you want any specific angle or want to keep it 0. It's only to identify some additional components. Now if you are done with it, you can also add some more components. See, this is one component is done. Now you can change the height and width of this. If you want to show what is the cockpit, you can also make use of this. Okay, so this is a wonderful tab to highlight maybe in a wing to identify your control surface, and if you don't want it, just click it and delete. If any component if you don't want, just it is selected and it is selected and click delete, so that thing will go off. Then comes a design. Now design, here we have certain parameters which is mentioned over here. Length. Now it depends on what is the length and what should be the unit. So suppose you are making some 30 meter. Let's assume your length of the fuselage is 30 meter, right? Let me fit into the screen. So your diameter should be 3.75. so what I'm gonna do here, 3.75, you can directly write, or you can use this tab to modify anything you can do. Now what is mean by nose mult? This means that what is the ratio between the length of the nose to the diameter of your fuselage. That defines by this nose mult. So it can be range with 1.5. Can change that. So based on your design, you can modify it and set as a final one. Similarly, you can add other components as well. Let's add wing. Okay. Now by default, this wing will be added in the origin itself. Now you can name this as a wing. Fine. And you can set some material of your choice, something to identify the different thing. Let me give as green plastic. You can change the density at some as per your choice. Move to the next step. Now here you want to put this wing at some percentage. Now what here is a coordinate system. I am going to use some relative coordinate system. That this coordinate system will coordinate with respect to this fuselage. Okay. Now if I extend to 30, now you know the total length of this fuselage is 30, which I have made in the very first. Now what is a measurement will start from the leading edge. Now you understand that you have to set your leading edge where, at what location, and accordingly you can put that. So what you can do is directly you can write back 10.5 and your wing will be set. Done. Now this is how you can do and put your wing location. Now if you want to rotate, now rotation of your wing is not mandatory. You don't want any symmetry. Now let's see here. The selection of the wing is done, one in the green box, one is a red box. What happens if I turn off this X set plane? So that means this one wing represents a symmetry box which is already been activated. Fine. So let's move to the next sub. Now we will come to the control sections later on. First we will go to the plan. Now what we have in the plan is our span length, wing span. So how big is your span? You can choose it accordingly. Let's consider we have 25-meter span and chord is around having 3. Okay, and you can check here, automatically it will be calculated what is your aspect ratio. Next, move to this next tab. I want to modify my wing design. Okay, what kind of modification? I want some winglets and some more changes I want to make in my wing design. Now from my wing design I want to split my wing into 3. Okay, so here you see in this section we have certain things, so I can split them and choose to the next one and further split them, choose to the next one, right? And now I want to make a winglet, so further I will split, take the next one. Okay, and what I will do here, I am having a option called dihedral and I will set some angle like 35. Okay, now the wing is also done, and further if you see that some kind of errors are happening, you can also click onto this and you can further make the modification. Next section what you have is airfoil. Now here you can choose your own airfoil, section by section you can choose. Let me take root as 15 thickness with a symmetrical profile. Move to the next one. I will use 0.12. I will use the upcoming section, I will keep it as same. So all sort of modifications you can make in your thickness to chord ratio, or you can also input your file. Again I will show you in the upcoming session how to import the file. Then what kind of leading edge you want, it's a flat, round, sharp. Okay, and let me show you very significant one. Here in the airfoil also you can choose bioconvex, and you can see how it looks like bioconvex, and you can observe which section you have changed as a bioconvex. If you want to go back to use 5-digit series, 6-digit series, and lot many modifications you can make over here. Okay, so this is the beauty of this software. Now let me show you some more thing using this panel and how to use of this horizontal stabilizer. Alright, and now further after renaming it, it's done. Now you can also copy it or paste it here, copy and paste. So you can see here, copy and paste the same replica we can see here, and you can further change this name as VT and turn off the symmetry sign or rotation and switch them back to the place. So put them, select all and put as shade. That's all, your aircraft is done. Now here let me show you one of the part of analysis, like you can use here and find out the weighted ratios of your aircraft. Here theoretical weighted ratio of each and every component that you have mentioned over here. You can use these calculations to predict your drag produced by this aircraft. So n number of analysis that it is possible. Now if you want to see 4 views of each and every side, you can have a look on it. Every view you can see If you want two horizontal also, that is also possible. Okay, and if you want to change that and take the screenshot with a background, transparent background, and capture the PNG where you want to save the file, or you can just save that file over their locations. That is also possible. Okay, now this is got minimized. You can again launch it back, and once you can delete it and select all and show, you will able to see your aircraft back. And how to save this? Simple. Go and save as whatever the name you want to save, just write that. Okay, this is for demo. Let me save as demo. Save it, and let me use new, and let me go and show you the design which I have done. Demo, accept, select all and use shade to get back your own aircraft what you have designed. In the next module, I am coming up with how to make a detailed design of a wing and how to change the parameters, how you can make different configurations of your wing. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.